Hey folks, today we're going to head to a place that's known as the only place on the Arizona side of Lake Mead that you can see Las Vegas. It's called Indian Pass. It's an incredible place and we're going to work our way over there and check it out. For better or worse, it's about 22 miles on a dirt road. It's known as a four-wheel drive road, but it's a pretty tame four-wheel drive road. So something like a Subaru or a RAV4 can do it with ease. And I drove my four-wheel drive Sprinter van along there and it was fine. To get to Indian Pass from Hoover Dam, you're going to head south on Highway 93 until you get to Temple Bar Road. And when Temple Bar Road takes a right turn, you're just going to head straight on a dirt road, and that'll begin your journey to Indian Pass. The dirt road here is actually pretty nice as we head toward Lake Mead, but after a while, the road narrows down a bit, and then we get closer to Lake Mead, and this is the time where we're going to take a left and head for Indian Pass. Next up, we take a left on Cohenour Loop Road, and this road takes us to a mine, and there's also a north route and a south route, and I understand that the north route is a little bit more benign, so I chose to take that with a van. So we cruise up this kind of narrow, sandy road, and the next thing we come to is called Petroglyph Wash. And the petroglyphs are right along the road and quite easy to see, so just cruise along and you'll see them on your left, and there's a little sign there. As we cruise along this cool road, you're going to see that it's really remote out here. There's nothing out here, there's nobody out here. It's just a beautiful desert landscape with Lake Mead in the distance. We go over a bit of a pass and then we descend and then we come to a junction. And this is our next road where we kind of continue our way down the loop. If we go right, we'll head down to Lake Mead. But if we go left, we continue on toward Indian Pass. And I believe that Gilbert Canyon Road goes both ways at this point. So we're leaving Cohenour Road and now we're on Gilbert Canyon. Next we head up Gilbert Canyon, and this place is absolutely beautiful. We go into these rocks and it's just unbelievably beautiful. The road is not bad. I don't think I would do it in a Prius or a Civic, but it's pretty much doable with any all-wheel drive car. So we continue up this road, and next we come to a junction, and this is where we meet the other side of the loop. We're going to take a right here. So right where we meet the south loop, we're going to take a right on Pope Mine Road. And this is the road that's going to take us up to Indian Pass. It's only a couple of miles, and we climb up a rather steep section to get up to the pass. The road is pretty nice, but the last bit is a little bit steep. It's totally doable with any decent high clearance car. When I got up there were a few Jeep wheelers, and those guys were super nice and gave me room to park. I put it in low range, but it didn't give me any trouble. Next, I found a good place to park, and the plan was to stay on the pass overnight so I could see Las Vegas and the night lights. The view of Las Vegas in the daytime was gorgeous with Lake Mead in the foreground, but I couldn't wait to see what it looked like with the night lights going. Of course, this is the view to the west looking toward Las Vegas, and this is the camping site where I'm at. It's nice that you can actually camp here, and now I'm looking back over toward the east, and you can see the road that comes up to Indian Pass. It's such a beautiful spot, and I'm amazed that you can camp here, but since it's so remote, there's nobody out here. So even though it's a really spectacular place, remote camping is allowed. From this shot, you can see what it looks like coming up the road, and you can see Lake Mead in the distance. There's the van that's parked for camping, and there's Las Vegas in the distance. And you might be wondering what that big brown mountain is in the distance with a flat top, and that would be Fortification Hill. If you watched my video on Kingston Wash, you'll know that I was on the other side of that on my previous remote camping trip. This is such an amazing place. It's hard to imagine that you can actually camp up here, but you can. I think it's because it's pretty remote and hard to get to and there's nobody up there. I would have to say it's one of the most beautiful campsites I've ever stayed at. But there is one caveat, and that is that the tours that run from Las Vegas to the Grand Canyon literally fly right over Indian Pass, that you can see right here. That's my van there. And they fly through this gap here. So all day you're going to have helicopters flying overhead and the occasional airplane, but it's just non-stop and all day. But other than that, it's a beautiful spot. And of course, the helicopter trips stop at night, so you're not going to be bothered at night. But during the daytime, you'll be buzzed every minute or so by these helicopters flying overhead. I have to say that I'm really grateful that I had the time to spend camping overnight there, because it was just a fantastic experience. And I should point out that the coolest thing about staying overnight is you get to see the Las Vegas Strip at night, which is a real experience. Well, after spending a beautiful afternoon and a night and then a morning at Indian Pass, it was time to get going. And now I'm going to show you a lot more of the road coming back, so stick around if you want to see more about the road, because there's some really good footage showing the road and what it's like. This is coming down from the pass, and you can see that Lake Mead's just going out of view now, and Fortification Hill's going out of view as we cruise down the steep part, and then it kind of mellows out a bit. Coming up is the only steep section coming back. This is the only dicey section, and it's kind of rutted and quite steep, and it's hard to carry a lot of momentum up here because it's so steep and rutted, and you can see the band kind of bouncing back and forth here as I'm trying to keep it together. So it's a combination of trying to maintain momentum and just keeping it together. And I was in four-wheel drive low here, but this is the only difficult place on the way back, and it wasn't really that bad. At this point we come back down Petroglyph Wash, and it opens up a little bit, and you can see in the distance that's Lake Mead that we start to see as the canyon opens up and we get more down into the flatlands. And as you can see, we've got beautiful views over toward the lake as we come down. And these are views we don't get on the way up, of course, because we're going the other way. But coming down, you have this nice expanse, and it's really nice to look at. At this point, we're back on Bonelli Landing Road, and this is going to take us back to the pavement on Temple Bar Road, and from there we head back to Highway 93. So thanks for coming along on this amazing ride to Indian Pass. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too, and I appreciate you coming along. If you liked the video, please do like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.